Hey guys. So I've actually recorded this video before, but I found myself rambling a lot. So hopefully this time around I'm not rambling. I'm a little more concise in my speech. I've been wanting to do this video for about a month now. And hopefully it's not anything like super heavy-handed or serious, but it is something that I wanted to discuss because it really it opened my eyes to a couple of things. I got the opportunity to go to Spain for the whole month of June. I studied abroad in Seville, to be exact. And before going, I was really excited because, you know, it's Spain, you know, it sounds all exotic, you know, I'm thinking about to meet me a fine Spanish man. And also, I can speak Spanish. I would say I'm on like an intermediate advanced level. So I wasn't necessarily worried about communicating or getting around. One thing in particular really shocked me. That was the issue of traveling to this country as a Black person. Spain is not the first country I've been to. I'm actually in another country right now. I'm in England right now. And in the past year, I've had the opportunity to visit 5 different countries. And yet, Spain was probably the country where it was very apparent to me that I was Black. Let me explain why. I wasn't expecting for there to be a huge, you know, Black population when I got to Spain. I already knew that beforehand. What I was not expecting was the stares. Like, staring, you guys. I'm talking like these people were staring into your soul. Like, it was so crazy. I've never had anything happen like that. Part of what shocked me as well is that Seville is not a small town. When I would tell people about this, immediately they were like, oh, it must be a small town. You know, there must not be a whole lot of people. And I'm like, no, Seville is the 4th largest city in Spain, I believe. So why are people so, I don't even know if it was that people were shocked to see Black people. It was just very uncomfortable because at no point did I ever feel unsafe walking around in Seville, but I also felt very uncomfortable. I didn't mind walking places by myself, but there was always just this like dread like in my stomach, like, oh, I'm gonna get stared at. And I just want to go shopping. Like, it's not, I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm not harming anyone, I'm not going out of my way to look different. It was just very uncomfortable. And I found as well that when I discussed it with certain Spanish people, I don't want to say that the entire country of Spain is racist or that the entire city of Seville is racist, because that's a blanket statement. That's not really fair. But when I brought it up with certain people, they were very quick to dismiss what I had said, because I wasn't the only person having these experiences. There were other people in my group who were like, yeah, we get stared at quite often walking around. I remember telling 2 people in particular, I'm not going to say who they were, but they said, no, you know, Spain is very classist. We're a very classist society. We're not really racist. And I didn't say anything else just because I wasn't about to get into a debate about race or classism. I just wasn't in the mood. and it wasn't the time. But wouldn't you classify classism as a part of racism? When I say that there weren't many black people in Spain, it was either one or the other. If I saw another black person, they were either a tourist like me, they might be a student walking around, or just, visiting the city, or they were, African migrants selling goods on the street. It literally was one or the other. There was like no in between. If you look at me as a black person and you see that I'm carrying a backpack or a purse, you see me going shopping, you see me eating out, you see me doing things that normal people do, why is that surprising to you? It just became very apparent to me that people were not willing to understand where we were coming from. Because, again, Spain is not the first country I've been to, and yet I'd never had such an uncomfortable experience. I went to Germany, Berlin to be exact. I could probably count on my hand the number of black people that I saw in Berlin. And yet I wasn't stared at, it wasn't uncomfortable, I walked around freely, and I felt fine. I didn't feel like an outsider. And there were times in Seville that I felt very unwelcome. I felt like an outsider, which, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I am an outsider, but I also at times did not feel welcome being in Seville. That soured the experience for me a little bit, because I was very, very excited to go to Spain. I was really excited to practice Spanish, but now I don't really know if I'm ever going to go back to Spain. I think that if I do, I will not be going to Seville. I wouldn't mind trying out Madrid, Barcelona, Cadiz, just because I just had such a uncomfortable experience. And I went with a good group of people, so it's not like I didn't have a good time. There were definitely, great times that I had in Seville, and I met some really, really cool people. But overall, I don't know if I would ever spend my money willingly to go back to Seville ever again. Just because I want to be able to travel. I love traveling. I love visiting new places, seeing new things, experiencing new cultures. But I'm not willing to go places where I feel unwelcome or I feel uncomfortable. To those who have experienced it, I hope this makes a little more sense. It was just, the stairs were really something. But I hope this video wasn't too serious. If you've had any similar experiences, please let me know. Please comment. But I appreciate you guys for watching, and bye.